Okay, guys, this is Marco Bertuglia. Can you still hear me okay? Luca, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Excellent. Yes, I do. And it looks like everybody can hear us as well. Okay, thank you guys for coming. Marco Bertuglia with Infinity Futures. We have Luca Facchini with Quant System Trading. Quant System Trading is the company behind MyTradeAssist, is the so-called holding company. He's going to be here to also answer some of your questions. I will be presenting these algo. This is the third presentation that we do on mytradeassist.com, which is the new algo that is available now on Sierra for demo user, live user, and sim live user. Luca, put your mic on hold so that we don't, we don't hear background noise, please. Before we start, it's important always to remind you guys about risk in trading futures. I know there are some of you that are very experienced and very familiar with leverage and volatility. But that being said, it's always important that you guys are familiar with the risk involved in trading futures, especially if we are talking about an automated trading system. So you can read the risk disclaimer at the bottom of our pages, in all our infinityfutures.com pages. And trading futures says that trading futures, options on futures, and retail off exchange foreign currency transactions involve substantial risk of loss. It's not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of futures results. Always use risk capital. Be very familiar with the volatility and the protections that you can use, such as stop losses and proper margin before you guys engage in futures trading. So as I was saying, sorry, this is not what I wanted to show. We're going to start with a presentation. Today's presentation is going to be a little bit different. Again, this is the third one. On the first presentation, we discussed pretty much, we went into algorithmic trading, the main key concepts behind algorithmic trading. We discussed about black boxes and gray boxes. We also expressed our opinion, especially when it comes to day trading, on some of the key advantages of algorithmic trading or automated or semi-automated trading compared to the classic discretionary point-and-click trading. So we want to definitely, again, stress that and then go a little bit more in depth, show the new build of the platform, which Luca developed recently. So it's so-called MyTradeAssist 2.0. And then do practical examples showing markets and how the algo behaves according to the new interface in real time. Once again, I wanted to stress it's not a black box, but it's a highly customizable algorithmic tool. You can call it, so to speak, a gray box. We don't believe in algo black boxes because they are usually hard-coded, not accessible, and they're not adaptable to ever-changing market conditions. So in this case, the MyTradeAssist is not so much as a closed boxed-in trading system, but a tool, an algorithmic tool that you can use, and it's flexible because you can adapt to any market as long as they're volatile and they obviously have the liquidity and volatility necessary. Any time session, so whether you want to trade Asia, the UK session, or the US session, and also time frame. So you can adapt it to markets on a 10-minute chart, 5-minute, even longer time frame. And not only that, but as you probably guys know, if you have been here before, you can actually use it on different types, bar types. So volume bars, range bars, and so forth. So highly customizable. And because of that, on one end, of course, you lose some of the hard-coded and some of the automation, but on the other hand, you gain very much in flexibility, and you can use it, again, as an assistant. It's not supposed to be a black box trading system that you turn on and turn off and just walk away from your computer. So there are two versions, the MTA Lite, which is the one most commonly used out there by some of you guys, and also we use it for some accounts. The MTA Pro as different strategies, as a flexibility of allowing you to use not only momentum strategies, but also market neutral strategy, and one strategy based on retracement. Another concept that we wanted to stress yet again, and some people that have watched videos are very familiar with this, but it's definitely worth revisiting. We really believe that trading, especially day trading, the odds are really not 50-50. They call it a zero-sum game, but if you're coming really to day trade, once you really click and buy crude oil at mini S&P or sell at the market, you're already losing a tick there. If you're putting a stop, you might get slippage, you're losing another tick. Commissions are definitely a big factor. Again, if you're coming to day trading, you might have two accounts, both gross positive, and after commission, they both might actually end up the day net negative. You have a psychological impact. There is a lot of factors that really don't make day trading an even 50-50% game. So if you really want to shift the odds in your favor, you really need to work on getting an edge in through other mechanism. And one that we always stress is looking for a bias. Many professional traders that I know use the concept of bias. They have a predefined view of the market before they even approach the trading session. So bias, of course, the preparation and the power of automation. Even if you're simply using a bracket, having some sort of semi-automation or full automation can really shift the odds again in your favor. So MyTradeAssist is really a flexible tool because, again, can be adapted to any underlying strategy, any underlying tool. So if you're using Bollinger Bands, stochastic pivots, Fibonacci, volume profile, micro profile, view up, any of those and more, and pretty much virtually any tool that I can think of, can be used as an underlying foundation to then layer on top MyTradeAssist as guidance, as a filter, and on top of that, as an automation tool to scout and automate the opportunity that were prepared according to your underlying strategy. The intraday, we can probably all pretty much agree you can use two main approaches. One approach can be the momentum approach, so you're buying breakouts, you're buying acceleration through support or resistance, so you're going with the current flow and momentum of the current market bias, or you're using regression, so you're looking to take advantage of support and resistance in the opposite direction. You're looking for the market to regress or to converge toward a mean, perhaps using levels. So MyTradeAssist can be used for both these two purposes. You can definitely scout, as we will see in a moment, opportunity according to momentum breakouts, as well as crucial reversal opportunities that can help you spot, for example, key swing reversal points in the market. So I just wanted to a couple of slides to conclude this presentation. Then we're going to go through the live market. This is pretty much the new, obviously the hideous handwriting. This is the new build, the MTA 2.0. And the 2.0, basically, I will let Luca explain what it's done. And this is aesthetically, Luca's tried to make it a more effective tool on a couple of key points, and then aesthetically a little bit more appealing. So, Luca, if you're there, you want to go ahead and just explain quickly the logic between the two versions, and then the new version, and then we'll go to some live market examples.
Yeah, sure. So the feedback we had from the first version was a little bit, how you say, we're missing some parts. It was not super user friendly. So I decided to add some parts that make it a little easier For example, the bias. A lot of people did not understand how to use the bias, and so we have now a bias that is embedded inside the algorithm. And when you click the bias, automatically the trades will be only taken on the direction of the bias. Bias simply means the main direction that the market is going in the moment. Of course, nothing is perfect. We try to do, I try to do the best I can to find the bias that give us the best chances to have winning trades. And I think you will see it is pretty accurate. But you can use your own way to determine the bias, and you can come inside the day with an idea if the market is going to be long or short based on your studies, and you can ask the MyTradeAssist just to take the long or the short side, and it will fire and create trades in that direction. I want to try to show you my screen 1 second so you can see the way that you load your MyTradeAssist on your Sierra chart.
Let me change over here. Luca, you should be able to grab your.
Okay, let me try to see if I can do it.
Show it.
Does it show it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me move this away. Can you still see it?
Yeah, we see it. Yeah, I see the screen. Oh, I know. No, I don't see anything moving.
Oh, okay, so let me.
Same main screen. You probably have to. If
okay.
To switch.
Okay, so you see it now, right?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No, you have to go to where it says on the left, show my screen. You see where it says show screen, and
yeah.
You have
you
to
see it now?
No, still nothing.
Okay, probably because I have too many screens. Hold on a second. You see anything now?
No, but if you want, is that something that I can show on mine?
That's very weird because you should be able to see it. Let me double check.
So you're trying to show. We see a chart with black handles.
Okay, you see a chart? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That yes, but it hasn't changed. It's the same chart that you were showing.
Oh yeah. No. It's this. Okay. So if I scroll it, you see that it's scrolling back and forth, right?
I don't know. I don't see that scrolling back and forth, to be honest. Yeah, now it is. Yeah. Now, yeah. So it took a minute. It was frozen. Okay, now we see.
Okay.
Yes,
now we're okay. Okay. So perfect. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. So I will just to add the MyTradeAssist Pro, the new version. I don't know if you're familiar with Sierra chart. Many of you are probably, but I know some of you never seen Sierra chart. You just go, you load whatever chart you want to see. In this case, is the crude light 5 minutes chart, and then you just go on studies, and you will add custom study. Inside the add custom study, you will find if it opens. Okay, here we go. Trading flow, we don't need that. The MyTradeAssist. This should be the new version. Hope so. Let me see, double check 1 second. And it is, yes. All right, so these are basically the inputs that you can kind of customize at the MyTradeAssist. Entry offset means simply how many, okay, first of all, the system will always enter on a buy stop. Okay, so the Pro version has also a market at the market entry, but this version, the light, enters always on a buy or sell stop. The entry offset means simply buy one stop, buy one tick. If I change this to 2, will be 2 ticks above the high or the low of the chart or the bar that I want to enter. So if I leave it at 1, it will be a buy 1 tick. That's the entry offset. The number of trades in the same direction. You can do some kind of add-on. So if I do, let's say 2, it will fire 2 signals in the same direction of the bias, for example, or I can change to 3, and it will manage 3 different trades. For now, we'll just, it doesn't matter. Marco probably will show some example after of today trades on crude. We can probably do it with 2 or 3. So I'll leave for now just to 2. Session trade window start. So you can tell the algorithm to start to look for trades, entry trades from, let's say, 08 Chicago time, 8 in the morning, and stop looking for trades at I don't know, 11:30. And after that, it will not look for any more trades. Position maximum contracts is how many contracts you want to load on your MyTradeAssist. Of course, that depends on the dimension of your account, but is on default on 10, and the risk multiplier and the risk multiplier number 2 exit. So this is for set that the first contract will exit at 1 time the risk, and the second contract will exit 2 times the risk. Also, this can be changed to, I don't know, 0.5, and it can be changed to 4. Okay, so when I set up this everything, I will click OK, and this is the window control panel on the chart. Now, to activate the MyTradeAssist, this is called Mars. This is a model called Mars. It's more of a momentum kind of strategy. And the other 2 on the Pro, they're called Stella and Saturn. And those 2 are actually, like Marco was mentioning before, one is more like trying to pick top and bottom, some more for sideways markets, and the other one is more a retracement kind of logic. So it will enter at a better price compared to the momentum push that you have, right? So it's like a retracement kind of if you want a Fibonacci kind of idea. Now, if I click Mars, it becomes green, and in this case, you will see just blue. You will just see blue little arrows and the price. I don't know if you can see the price very well. If today I say, oh, I want to just buy the market, these are the 2 trades that were fired by the algorithm, 5603 and 5453. But I'd like to ask everybody if the crude light is in a downtrend or an uptrend. And I think everybody that knows a little bit how to read the chart understands that is in a downtrend. And so maybe I want to use the short side, and these are the entries for the short side, okay? And this is still without the bias. I'm talking about just you thinking, okay, I think the market is going down, it's going up. So probably it's going down, right? So these are the entries of 5604. There were 3 entries. Now, there are 2 modules for the frequency of the trades. It could be normal, and then there is the other one is more aggressive, okay? It doesn't mean that there are more trades. This is just like a different logic. So you can have, theoretically, one account that goes normal and one sub-account goes aggressive, or maybe you like better the aggressive entry, or maybe you just like the normal entry. Now, see, if I want now to say, okay, you tell me what is the bias, and you just take trades with the bias, then of course they're only short. You can see the red arrows, the entry point, and is biased with normal frequency or biased with aggressive frequency. Okay, so you let the software, you can see that the trades start to be generated after 8 o'clock, because if I scroll in the middle of the night, there are no trades. Okay, if I change the time here, session time from 08 to, let's say, 4 in the morning or 1 in the morning, then you will see trades generated on top of here. And we can try to do that so you can see it very quickly. So let's say I want to do, I don't know, or 2 in the morning Chicago time when Europe opens. Let's see if we have any trades. Here we go. Now, this is the trade, 5608. And we had a couple of trades. At this level, the market actually changed bias here. It was a long trade, and then it went short this way. If I just do normal, there is nothing. See, the aggressive bias generated a buy over there, and these are all the short trades from 2 in the morning until 11:30 today. Now, I can also show all trades if I want to. So let's say I want to see if there was any kind of trades on the opposite direction that I want to buy the market. Probably want to go aggressive, but there wasn't, the market is going down. Good for us because we also are short. There is no buy here at the bottom yet. It could be that we can see a buy live in the next 30 minutes or 15 minutes, but so far there are no any buy signals. So I can cancel the show all trades. And if I do risk here and I say, okay, I want to enter one contract, do 1/1. So the first contract will exit at 1 time the risk, and the second contract will exit, we say, no, 4 times the risk. And this is the management of the trade that Marco will show you later on, the way it works with the replay. So you have two ways to manage the trades. One is by risk. So every time the market enters, you need to define your risk, right? So in this case, the entry is a 55.82, and the stop is here, 50. I can see it because of 56.12. Okay, so it's about 30 ticks stop. So the first contract will exit in 30 ticks. After is the first target, and the second one will be 100. I'm sorry, 120 points below. You will see this after later on. You can also use, if you don't want to use the logic behind the MyTradeAssist, you can use the Sierra chart trade window and have Sierra chart managing the way you want. You can customize your exit. You just go here and attach trade window, and the Sierra chart trade window is a very sophisticated tool, way to manage the way you want. You know, you can create as many brackets that you want with. And of course, remember, you can change, and Marco will show you later on, you can change on the chart the target and the stop. They are not fixed. This is not like a black box where you have an entry and the stop stays the same and the target stays the same. If you feel that something's changing, you can always modify the stop and the target, making it closer. And if you want, there is a flatten cancel, you can just cancel everything and flatten everything that you have. The risk management will show you later on the current position, maximum position, open trades, and you can make these all smaller so it doesn't bug you once you set up everything you want. So you see it's active. This is the session time that is looking for trades, and this is all the stuff that you need to do. So this is the new version. It's simplified. The other one was a little more tricky. There was no bias before. There was no the aggressive and the normal were not on the control panel on the chart. They were on this control panel here, and so it was kind of to switch from normal to aggressive was kind of a cumbersome, a little pain, and so I changed this stuff, and so this is the light version. The pro version, I'm planning to do something similar where we have few pro using that, and is a little too complicated even for them. And so I will just try to simplify the interface for everybody. So there would be a Stella module and the Saturn module with a similar interface, so people can just decide, okay, I want a momentum strategy, I want a sideways strategy, or I want to just work with retracement because that is the best way for me to day trade. So with that said, Marco, if you want to say something, I'm pretty much done with my presentation of the new version.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, just to wrap it up on what the new version entails. Yeah, the previous version was nice. The signals quality has now changed. It's exactly the same as the previous version. It's cleaner because before it used to give a lot of signals. Even non-completed trades were showing. The nice session, if you didn't select those times, it still shows the arrows and the signals during the nice session. And the big change has definitely been the bias. And I can change to my screen and show you basically what I mean. Okay, let me see. Luca, you see my screen now?
Yeah, so
everybody can see my screen, I assume. This GoToMeeting window is a little bit too big for my tastes, but I will try to scroll left. Okay. All right, so this is crude oil. This we actually ran the algo today on simulation mode. We did some light trading, but that's a separate story. We ran the algo on simulation mode on both the mini Nasdaq, as you can see here, and the crude oil. These are the markets, and you probably heard me saying repeatedly, these are the two markets that we like because of both the volatility, definitely the liquidity, but also because of the power of moving through ranges of decent size. So we favor these two markets. They are not markets, obviously, for any size of accounts, especially the mini Nasdaq. Lately, coming into October, we noticed the stops were getting a little bit too big, even for 20, 30, $40,000 account. But it's definitely a market that can give you good opportunities. Now, what we've been doing, we've been reducing, this is as of October, we've been reducing the time frame. If you remember, I said that this can be used with range bar, Renko charts, or any time frame you use. And the user skill, or the X factor, so to speak, will be playing a factor in this case, because it will be up to you to choose the most appropriate time frame, not just according to your account size, because you don't want to reduce it too much to be able to afford the stuff, but then get chopped up throughout the day. But definitely find the ideal time frame for you. The 2 minutes is working really well. And again, this is one of the biggest differences between the version that we have now of MyTradeAssist. You can see the panel that I'm scrolling here. So if you were coming into the day and say, I want to buy crude because I think crude is going to go to 100 again, of course, you click on long, and you can see that there's some opportunity, small stops. This was a stop, maybe a break even. Gets here, small stops, again, small stops. But you definitely did not capture the opportunity. Now, short, we have seen what it does. And if you click on bias, the algo immediately and automatically chooses for you the opportunities according to the higher time frame bias, which is hard coded in, it's selected, and according to some parameters that Luca has set on the code. So the higher time frame will indicate the highest, let's say, odds, the highest opportunities in the direction of the trend. So definitely a big difference. You can see, for example, this short right here was a tremendous run. So the other determining factor will be, are you going to select the algo to trade with the just 1-2 risk reward, that, like I said, and this test right here that I've done today, just on a simple 1-2. I didn't want to, of course, do anything on hindsight. 1-2 risk reward, or are you willing to take a little bit more? So that's definitely something that you can manipulate, something that you can work with. And as Luca said, the orders are placed on the chart and accessible. So in any instant, the algo will place a stop and will place a target. Will place 2 targets in this case. If you're choosing the 1-1, 1-1 again here means one target, a one-time risk. The second target is a 2-time risk set up on the settings that we just showed you. So at any time, you can decide to move your stop if you choose to move your targets, to cancel everything, to flatten everything, and so forth. So this is the crude oil. Now, coming into the mini Nasdaq, a little bit of a different story. And I want to say a note about an indicator that you guys are seeing on the screen. So coming into the Nasdaq, slightly different story. Let me make this shorter. Again, we usually start trading around the open. The 830 to 835 bar usually is the first bar that we take. And you were able to make a first target and a second target on this first trade. You were able to make a first target and a second target on the second trade. And then, of course, coming into a little bit more of the 950, you had 2 stop, 1 full stop here. Also, is kind of a, I believe, oh, yeah, by 1 tick. So this one was stopped out by 1 tick. Otherwise, it would have been a decent winner. So you have 4 trades. The time window that we use for mini Nasdaq, unless it's an eventful day, it's about 2 hours. So 8:30 to 10:30. You can stretch it out a little bit more if you really see something interesting. But you can definitely and this is another great thing that the new version will do, show all trade, and you can start seeing also the trade in the opposite direction, right? So when you do that, now it gets a little bit more interesting, because now you can look also at reversal spots that perhaps you were missing before, and perhaps can provide you with a little bit more of insight as far as where to cover your short, or whether, really take advantage of the so-called regression to mean that we were discussing before, right? So the market is stretched. You are looking for opportunities, instead of selling and pressing, to reverse your position and to go along with the long opportunities. So you can switch the algo and show you all the trades in the opposite direction. So this is pretty much the algo in action. And I know that that's a lot of information, and I know that some of the settings, we're still trying with some of the guys that are using out there to best take advantage of them. But the key concept is this, that you can use it to just, again, identify an underlying opportunity, whether you're using volume profile or Fibonacci or just plain vanilla support levels, or you can just let the algo decide the opportunities based on the bias. Okay, it's best to use it again with on a cruise control. So best to use it with some guidance and some monitoring, not just a black box turn on, turn off.
Marco, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, no, go ahead. I want to say something after when you're finished.
Yeah. And the other thing that this offers, which I think is one of the best features, is the flexibility of being able to switch from the risk hard-coded trade management to the Sierra chart trade window management, which allows, again, as Luca said, the user to set up his own stops, his own risk, his own trade management, lots, and so forth. I wanted to just finish up on something that we have noticed. Really, this is an extra little value that we want to give you guys. And it's something that actually we've been teaching to the people that have done the trading course. But we are happy to share it with you. If you can see here, it's the Hall moving average. The Hall moving average is a very active moving average that it's actually, if you're looking for reversal opportunities and for market bottoms and market tops, it could filter further the entries of the algo. In other words, you want to use it pretty much near streams to identify reversal opportunities. We just set it at the Luca, I know Luca likes the settings, 55. I left it at 25, which is the standard setting. So you don't have to go crazy. And I noticed there's not a lot of difference. But if you want to filter the opportunities around the extreme and look for the reversals, remember, so MyTradeAssist can both identify momentum accelerations. So this, for example, this signal right here, very different from this one right here, you would agree, right? This is a momentum strategy kicking in. This is a reversal opportunity kicking in. So, and the Hall moving average will tend to help you identify this opportunity around the extreme. You see how it clears the bar, clears the average above, and clears the average below. So something that, again, that we want to just add, something you might want to start working at as a filter, again, not as a standalone tool. I don't really believe in any free standalone tools that can be used as is, but as an additional filter, definitely something that you might want to experiment. So go ahead, Luca. I'm going to just shift to you. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Can you hear me? 1 second. Can you hear me, Marco?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. So in this chart of the Nasdaq, you can see that there are also, the bias is down, but you can tell that there are good signals, good entry signals on the long side, and especially around the area 6,500. If you have any kind of I don't know, pivot points or other way to create support or resistance on your chart, in that area there were supports And so maybe even if the bias is down, you could have think, okay, maybe in that area it's possible that the market will bounce and move up. And it did that. And the entries were very good. All three signals would at least generated 3 trades. And the second trade was very good. So just because the bias tell you something doesn't mean that you don't have to think on your own and maybe try to apply your experience and your studies and see if the MyTradeAssist will generate a buy or sell signal in that area that you believe would be a good support or resistance. And also, again, this is a 2-minute chart, but if you use a 3 minutes or a 5 minutes, or you change to, let's say, a range bar or whatever you like, you will see different kind of entry points. So you have to play around. Sierra charts give you the opportunity to do that, and you can replay and see which market works better with maybe some kind of bar period type compared to others. Every market is different, and so you need to find kind of a niche. This is constantly a work in progress, and by that I mean that the market are always changing, especially intraday. So you cannot just have one set and that's it. That's a black box and it will work all the time. You have to understand if the volatility is increasing or decreasing. So you have to adapt your bars and your time frame or the type of bar and the type of risk reward. So it's not a black box. It's a gray box. You need to find entry points that make sense to you. And then the algorithm will, and one of the points I want to make sure that you understand is that the majority of people lose money in the market because they don't know when to exit. And already the fact that you have a stop loss that is automatically placed for you and also target, that's a huge advantage. The majority of people, Marco knows, and I've been a broker for many years, is that people freeze and they have a mental stop that they never place, and then the market start to go against them, and instead to exit at the first original stop, they start to add more contracts and don't add any stops, and at the end of the day you blow up 50% of your account and you're done. So the advantage that you have with the MyTradeAssist is that the stop is there. Of course you can move the stop, but it doesn't make any sense, right? Move the target maybe, but do not move the stop. So that's it. Marco, you can take over again.
No, just simply, I was just showing a couple of examples on Renko bars and range bars. We've done some experiments in the past. They tend to work fine. Eventually, we decided to just settle instead of meddling back and forth with Renko bars, range bars. So we started just settling on a simple bar minute, so time bars. But you're definitely welcome to experiment with the Renko bars, and these are just regular Renko on 15 ticks. I think we were using, Luca.
Yeah, be careful with the Renko because the buy stop. Just one tick offset is not enough. You have to use 2, and the reason why the Pro version has the market is because if you decide to use the Renko, it is better probably to go at the market instead to place a buy stop, because technically by the time the Renko is finished, then you will not have enough time. I mean, the algo will not have enough time to place the order, a buy or sell stop, and it will already be passed, and then you will be rejected by a T and Sierra. You can probably explain that better than me, but so right. The Renko is kind of tricky. I say range bar is easier to use if you want to use different kind of bars. For Renko, I will suggest to use the Pro, because it has the option for the market entry, and eventually when I will simplify the other versions, I will add the market entry to the light version. But for now, it's not in the work. So so range bar or volume bar or other stuff will work perfectly fine. Or ticks, you can show 600 ticks, 500 ticks, whatever you like, and that will work fine with the current entry points. The Renko is a little more tricky, but you can experiment and see it by yourself.
Okay, excellent. There's some questions, so I think we might start addressing some of these questions that are coming through. There's along the same lines. Joe asks if the system work on all instruments? Technically, yes, Joe. You definitely want to be selective as far as the volatility and liquidity. So those are the two most important factors that I would suggest you to look into. You want a market that is volatile enough to give you extensions and momentum accelerations. On the other hand, you want also a market that is liquid enough, to fill you. There's another question. It goes along the same lines. That's the software select the best instruments to trade. No, that is actually something that you will have to decide based on your preparation. There's not a lot of futures, really. I mean, you could use it in live cattle. You could use it in soybeans, but if you just stick to the same markets, mini Dow, mini Russell, mini S&P, crude oil, mini Nasdaq, it works also in Eurex. So if you want to just experiment with one of those, there's plenty of opportunities. And there is really no need to go outside the standard, futures. The other thing I wanted to say on this regards is it's always good to have a basket of markets, at least 3 or 4, that you can choose. And then according to your preparation, you guys remember what I said about preparation before, establish before if the market is something that you want to engage in, and just decide which market is more congenial for that kind of alignment. So you don't have to trade the mini S&P every day. You don't have to trade the mini Nasdaq every day. But if you have a basket of markets and you can start moving around, if the charts look interesting, if they have approaching a special Fibonacci retracement on your daily chart, so these are all considerations, and again, that are part of your arsenal, and they should be part of your arsenal regardless of what you do, regardless of what software you use. This is just, again, it's an assistant. It will help you identify, clear the best opportunities or the better opportunities, and it will help you have a better clarity and more consistency. And on top of that, as Luca said, there's an automation factor. There's an automation in placing a stop. There's an automation in executing the opportunities that you've chosen. And again, you can always intervene, remove the stop, lower them, and so forth. But that is plain and simple the objective of a tool like this. That should be, as far as I'm concerned, should be considered by anybody that is already using an existing methodology. Let's see.
Marco, maybe people, the question was like, yeah, you can use this. There are also other futures that, like the currencies. Right now, they're not doing great. There's not great volatility. But currencies like the euro, the yen, the British pound are also very good for this kind of momentum strategies, actually. So, yeah, you don't want to go trade the bond or some kind of instrument that doesn't move. But eventually, you have to kind of monitor kind of having a radar and kind of have 10 or 12 futures and try to see the one that move the most. They have the biggest volatility and daily range, and that you're almost assured that there will be good trades if you apply the MyTradeAssist. If you have a choppy market with a very small range, then it's a little more difficult. It's a little more challenging for any actually algo to extract profits and good trades. But I think it's a good idea, Mark. What do you think to show some the way that
actually I'm showing the euro as we speak. So it's a 5-minute chart of the euro, okay, according to the bias. So the system identified a short bias in the euro, and there was only one trade in the selected 8:30, 10:30. Now, times are obviously also another thing that you need to assess for yourself. We can give you an indication, indices. When should you trade the indices? 8:30 Central. It's obviously a good opportunity. But currencies, you might have an ECB announcement, so you might want to start earlier. Gold, you might want to start earlier. Crude oil, you might want to start earlier. Actually, crude oil, we do start a little earlier. But this is pretty much the user inputs.
So try to change to 7 o'clock and see what happens.
7 o'clock?
Yeah, on the 7, the currency open at the old pit 7:20. So let's say that from 7 to 10:30. See if there was any other trades before that the trade that we saw.
Yeah, and then you want to kind of cut it off before the lunchtime occurs, because then you don't want to lose all the gains that you potentially have made in the choppy action of the market. So okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So there was a couple of another opportunities. A long one here stopped out. This would stop right here, and then re-entry with the trend.
Yeah. So there were two short. There were good trades, and one small stop on the long side with the bias.
And actually, this is an interesting observation, because this means that the bias right here changed. Okay, so I'm selecting bias. So the bias was first long, and then something happened around this level, and it broke down, and then it stayed short throughout.
Yeah, there were two great trades.
Here. Right. So what else? Let me see if they have any other questions. How do you set up awesome oscillator and stochastics? You can definitely work with the awesome oscillator and stochastic as well, Carl. CR chart does have those two indicators. I actually know Bill Williams personally. And you can definitely have them on your Sierra chart under the study, custom studies. As far as stochastics, you definitely want to use the algo to spot reversal opportunities. So near tops and bottoms. So use the algo reversal capacity almost as a trigger to identify and confirm the opportunity once the stochastic is already giving you an indication or oversold or overbought. Do you have a 1 minute and faster charting? We have all the charting, David. If you're not, is this Carl again? Carl, if you're not familiar with Sierra, there's virtually nothing that this platform cannot do. You can, here I set it up a 90-second chart. You can set up seconds, you can set ticks, minutes, any, you can go crazy with the settings of this platform. It's virtually, unlimited functionality, and it keeps always adding new. Does it work on DAX? Yes, it does work on the DAX. We, given the time, we don't really test much the DAX, but again, any great market with volatility and trend is definitely a market that is very congenial for this approach. For a demo, Jim, for a demo of the platform, you can go and go to infinityfutures.com, infinityfutures.com, and request a demo from there. Then contact us or contact your representative if you have a representative in Infinity, and then ask them to contact me so that I can actually add the algo onto the demo, onto the demo of the AT. So you can go to infinityfutures.com, register for the Infinity AT Sierra chart demo, and then once we have that username, we can authorize the algo for about a week. A week should be enough to give you an idea of, and again, maybe I should do this. Let's do this. Let's show some of the folks that are less familiar with Sierra chart. One of the things that you could do with the algo and is the replay of the chart. I have this box in the middle. Okay. So what I'm doing here is the replay of the chart, okay? Slow down a bit, close this. Okay.
You have to remember to turn on the Mars.
Not only that, but I didn't scroll back enough because I have the GoToMeeting windows are completely covering the entire screen. You guys don't see them, but I have an additional 2 windows that are completely crowding my screen, so I'm making it really difficult to juggle. Okay, so let me go back.
I can show that that indeed, in the meantime, the DAX, if you want.
It's started already, automatically taking a trade. Okay. Do you see it? Because actually,
No, we don't see anything yet.
no, I see it. I see the P&L going, but I have this annoying window in the middle. Okay, so let's stop here. Let's start from scratch.
Is that a crude light? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is crude.
Can you move the
1120. What?
Yeah, that window.
one?
Can you move
Yeah.
it somewhere? Yes.
Okay, so this is 1120s today, but it's okay. So this
You
is
have to scroll back to 8 o'clock, right?
yeah, correct. Okay, so this should be enough. Risk is set, bias, play. Okay, I just wanted to give an idea how the algo interacts with the orders and place the orders. This may still be a little too fast. I think
No, that's okay. It's okay. 67, whatever it is fine.
Okay. So we selected 7 a.m., but I guess there's no trade yet.
So basically, you're saying at 7 o'clock,
Yeah, start looking
start
for
to look with the bias in normal mode, with the risk reward one. The first one will act the first contract. Okay.
Okay. So the first order was placed but not filled. It wasn't completed.
Can you pause it 1 second?
Yeah. Okay. So this is
okay. Go on trade and also add show trade fields.
Okay.
I think it's set. And try to see.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So you can see that there is a buy stop, a 56.15, and 2 targets. So target 1 was taken out, and there's a second target at 2 times the risk, 55.73. So it's it's going fast. So now it's almost gonna stop us out.
It would be a free trade.
Yeah, and actually it was, and at the same time it's still placing trades.
Actually, no, it never stopped out. It was target second.
No, it's target. It's yeah, it almost stopped out. So now,
yeah, those are not
okay. New sell. Yeah, crude oil actually moves like this in real time, almost.
It's a little too fast, but okay.
Yeah, this is 55 speed.
Probably go down to 30 maybe.
Yes, so I could do. Yeah, I could go down to 30. And soon is gonna stop giving anyway, looking for trades anyway, because we gave them a time window. Actually, this one gave a time window 12, which might be a little bit too long. So now the market is getting a little congested, as you can see. So the fact that it's actually not doing anything is a good indication. So the logic of the system tries to identify opportunities, not any opportunities, and not just when there is a couple of up bars or down bars, but there's a couple of different systems, and knows, of course, Luca knows more about it because he's behind it. But there's a couple of different logic that are intertwined and are looking for confirmations before engaging in a new trade. Okay, I slow down right when the market slowed down, so I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's see if there is anything else. Otherwise, I don't even remember what happened. I think there was another.
Okay, I'll go check on my chart here.
No, it's fine. I'm sure that there's going to be something else. So there is this, guys, as you can see, the market is looking for sells. The market is rallying. Sorry, the algo is looking for sells, but the market is rallying. So it's not giving you false sell signal. So that's an additional filter that definitely works in your favor.
There will be a trade soon at 54.67.
Okay.
Let's see.
So the market keeps going up. Of course, I'm sure that if you had selected the show all trades, oh, here it is.
Here you go.
It is. Yeah. So correction, breakout
Hey,
along with
maybe
the same
Marco,
trend.
try to drag down the second target. You can show that you can
Oh,
move
okay.
the
I see what you're
target
saying. Yeah. Okay, you can do
for the
it. Yeah.
chart. No, grab
Yeah.
the
Here.
limit.
I just did it.
Yeah, it's kind of slower. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. So this is the flexibility that you can have. And for example, do you see this stop, guys? If I were me, I would actually drag this up a little bit above this big eye. It doesn't make sense to have a stop that is above the bar, but not above the local high, so to speak. So this is the kind of flexibility. Now we are in one position, and it did not take the additional trade, as you can tell, because I did not tell the algo to enter in multiple position in the same direction. Okay, so this could have been another trade, but it did not take it, and it just stuck with this initial 54.67 sell. So the
Yeah.
market is now basically doing nothing. You are free to either stick with it, see another trade right here that's not completed, but technically speaking, it's actually something that would help you keep the position short because it's an ultimate confirmation that your position is okay. And there you go. So first, the second target was also reached. Okay. So anyway, won't keep you guys too much longer. I just wanted an opportunity again to show the new MyTradeAssist built. So the new algo with the new functionality. Again, the one especially the filters the buys is particularly great advantage that was added. And I want to thank everybody, especially Luca, for coming. Everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving, you guys have a great holiday. For those who don't celebrate Thanksgiving, please remember markets have an extremely short session on Thursday, very short session on Friday as well. So you definitely want to be careful trading. Please check the time when the Globex sessions are closing. Everybody, again, thank you so much. Luca, do you want to add
Yep.
anything or we can just wrap it up?
No much. Thank you for attending. And if you have any questions, you can just send an email to me or Marco, and we'll, if you need to do a trial and test the MyTradeAssist, just shoot us an email, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Yes, and mytradeassist.com is Luca's website, so mytradeassist.com. Go there. I think there is also a free ebook on quant system trading that you might want to check out and register for. Okay. And again, thank you again. If you have any questions, this is Marco with Infinity Futures. You can email me directly at B as in boy, at infinityfutures.com or contact your representative. Thanks again. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you.